What's going on, guys? Welcome to my April 2013 update. I got 7 titles here, I think. I'm not going to count them, but I got like 3 digibooks, a steelbook, and a couple other, good movies. Really cheap. Yeah, I got a couple really good deals this month. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing I watched this month isn't one I've actually bought this month, but I bought it over a year ago and never watched it. And that is Cars. Disney Pixar. I kind of put off watching this just because it didn't seem too interesting. The only reason I bought this is because Disney Movie Rewards, a long ass time ago, they don't do this anymore, but they had a coupon for like $5 off, so I got it for like 15 when it was relatively new. And I liked it more than I thought I would. It's not one of my favorite Pixar movies, but the Blu-ray does look really good. It's about Lightning McQueen. I was going to say Steve McQueen, but that's kind of like the joke. He's Lightning McQueen. The red car is kind of a young race star, whatever. And he's kind of full of himself, and he wants to be this big star, and he's just so full of himself. And he gets stranded in this small town. I forget what it was, Radiator Springs, I believe, maybe? Sounds right. Anyway, and he kind of learns what, the real value of life is, and, the value of real people, and not just artificial and people and, fake friends and things like that. And I will say that, I thought that Mater, the old Rust Bucket, played by Larry the Cable Guy, I thought he would be really annoying, but he was actually pretty damn funny. Overall, it's a pretty good movie. It's definitely not Pixar's best. Blu-ray looks really good, and I'm looking forward to watching Cars 2. I don't own it, but my brother does, so I'll probably watch that sometime soon. Overall, it's pretty good. If you like Pixar, I'd say give it a go. But I liked it overall. Next up is a Blu-ray that I got for $4 at Target. And that's The Punisher. John Travolta's in this for some odd reason. Basically it's the Marvel superhero, The Punisher, although it doesn't really scream Marvel movie anymore. The direction that Marvel movies have taken recently are super high quality action CG affairs spanning galaxies, and it's a big event. And this is just kind of a mediocre action movie. The Punisher, I don't even know his name. I think his name's Tom Jane. John Travolta. Wait, let me start over this. It's complicated to explain, but it's super simple. John Travolta's a mob boss, and the Punisher guy, what's his face, Tom Jane, is an undercover cop, and in a kind of a sting operation, Tom Jane, I don't know why I can't remember his name, arrests the people. But John Travolta's son is in the sting, and he gets shot and killed, and John Travolta vows vengeance because he's a mob boss. So John Travolta has his whole family killed, and then the Punisher guy, he goes after him and kills everybody. It's very mediocre, and for $4 it's okay, but I liked it overall. It's just not that good. And it just seems really out of place that John Travolta's in this. He's in some really off the wall stuff sometimes. Overall, it's a 2 out of 5. It's watchable, and I like it enough to keep it. But for $4, it's not a huge loss. Next up is the one I got from the Best Buy Upgrade and Save, and that is American Beauty. This is an awesome movie, and it's in my book, it's kind of a dark comedy. In some sense, it gets really funny. In another sense, it gets super deep. And it's overall, it's a very good movie. Kevin Spacey plays a kind of a father whose wife he's kind of in a loveless marriage. His daughter doesn't really like him, won't talk to him. He's in a kind of a rut, and he starts having a midlife crisis and decides that, he's just not going to do the stuff he wants. He's just going to do whatever the hell he wants anymore. So he blackmails his boss and gets a severance package of $60,000, and he doesn't have to work. And he just does whatever the hell he wants. And it starts out with him, his daughter bringing home her friend, and he's really attracted to her, and it's a very good movie, and it's an easy watch, but it is kind of a dark comedy in the sense that some of the stuff Kevin Spacey does is really funny, and then in the same sense it's a drama because some really deep stuff happens too. I really liked it. It's worth $5. The Blu-ray is so-so. It looks okay. But overall, it's a 4 out of 5 for me. It's a very good movie. Next up was the big release of April, and I got the special edition steelbook of Django Unchained. Did a full video of this. If you want to see it, check the annotation on the screen. But I really enjoyed Django Unchained. And what's really disappointing is this is 3 discs, and they put the 3rd disc in a paper sleeve, which kind of bugs me. Why can't they just... And it even has the holder for like the disc flapper thing. They could have easily put that in there. But I really enjoyed it. It's about Christoph Waltz, really. Christoph Waltz is a bounty hunter, and he gets a bounty to catch 3 brothers. I don't really remember their names. But he has to buy Django because Django knows where the brothers are because they're under a different alias. So he buys Django, and they start doing bounties together. Christoph Waltz, and the interaction between Christoph Waltz and Django, or Jamie Foxx. It's Christoph Waltz and Jamie Foxx is really great, and it's really reminiscent of John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction. It's a very good bond between the two. And after the bounties are done, Django kind of asks Schultz if he'll help him find his wife, because they were sold separately, so he wanted to get his wife back. And it's just a very good movie. And Leonardo DiCaprio is very surprising. He plays a really good kind of an evil southern guy, landowner, asshole kind of guy. Very good movie. It's honestly, I think it might be my 2nd favorite Tarantino movie. Pulp Fiction's still number 1. I absolutely love Pulp Fiction. But this one is very good. And definitely check this out. This is a 5 out of 5 in my book. But next up was the deal that I got of the month. It was the best deal I got. That's the collector's edition of Bridge on the River Kwai. And I did a full overview of this too. Annotation on the screen. But this is a digibook. And I absolutely love this movie as well. It's definitely a classic. William Holden, Alec Guinness, which was the standout role in my book, and Jack Hawkins. Basically, it's World War II. I believe it's Southeast Asia, somewhere, maybe Vietnam, kind of. And the Japanese have taken hold of basically all of... If you didn't know World War II history, the Japanese basically controlled all of Southeast Asia and China. But the British were fighting them. But this British company with a Colonel Nicholson, played by Alec Guinness, who was actually Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I thought was really cool. I actually learned that in this digibook. But they're taken captured by the Japanese Colonel Seiko, or whatever his name was. And they're enlisted to build slave labor. That is, build a bridge on the River Kwai so the Japanese can train and get a railroad going over this bridge and bring supplies throughout the entirety of wherever this took place. It was some jungle. Very good movie. A strong character. It's a character-driven movie. I really love this movie. I'm probably going to watch it again very soon. But definitely check this one out if you've never seen it. The Blu-ray transfer is amazing. I do believe it's 4K. I might be wrong. It looked really good. But in the transitional periods, old movies have that fade in and out thing that they do. New movies don't really do it anymore, but it kind of fades out and you see the, people fade in and out between transitional scenes. And you can see where the restoration kicks in. So, in the middle of a transition, it'll be the old transfer, like DVD. It'll look like ass, and then the new transfer will kick in and it'll look beautiful. So it's a little inconsistent because it does those transitions quite a bit. But overall, it's a fantastic movie. Definitely check this out. I believe this is about $25. I bought it used for $12.99. But now that I've seen it, and now that I've seen the restoration they did, it's definitely worth $25. Definitely check out Bridge on the River Kwai. But The next two I've had for a really long time, and I just now watched them. Two digibooks. First up, bought this last summer in a wheeling around town. It's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson. Very cool digibook. A very enjoyable movie. Basically, Jack Nicholson gets himself, he's a career criminal, and he gets himself thrown into an insane asylum, and he kind of makes friends with all the people, but he soon finds out that, you know, life isn't as it seems, and it's just a really, really good movie, and it's a character-driven movie as well. Jack Nicholson is very likable, but at the same time, he's kind of a dick. And towards the end, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's a very good movie. Digibook is fairly expensive. I got this last summer at a Costco-like store called Sam's Club. We don't, in Indiana, we don't really have it. I think there's one Costco in Indiana, and it's like an hour and a half away from me, so I usually go to Sam's Club, which is basically the same thing except it's owned by Walmart. And every once in a while they have digibooks or Blu-rays in there for super cheap, and this was $12. But I actually have an overview of this too, so annotation on screen. Very, very good movie. I actually really enjoyed this. It won Best Picture in 1975. So, very, very good movie. Next up, last one. I bought this over a year ago, and I just now watched it. And I got it for a really good deal too, $12.99 at Disc Replay, and that's All the President's Men. About Watergate, the Watergate scandal in the 70s with Richard Nixon. Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman played reporters or journalists for the Washington Post, I believe. It might have been the Huffington Post. I believe it was the Washington Post. And they're kind of unraveling the scandal. And the publisher doesn't really want to run it until everything is confirmed. And it's a very good movie, and I did enjoy it. The Blu-ray didn't look very good. It looked okay. Some scenes were much better than others. But overall, there was like a thick grain over it. And, grain is good in some cases. But, like when he was meeting with Deep Throat in the parking garage, you could barely see what was going on because of some of the, like, super dark scenes. And, I liked it enough. It's a political thriller kind of thing. But knowing, what's going to happen at the end. They're going to uncover the scandal. Richard Nixon resigns. It's one of those movies that's good, but it's kind of held back because you know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? But that's what I picked up. A fairly big month for me. I will be having a birthday update, which comes out probably in the first week of May. My birthday is May 4th. So look for that. But thanks for watching. See you later.